As Kofi walked through the grand corridors of Royal Gold Academy, he marveled at the magnificent structures, lush gardens, and towering trees that lined the walkways. It was his first day at the prestigious school, a place known for educating the children of the wealthiest families in Ghana. But Kofi was different. He had earned his place through a rare full scholarship, coming from a humble background in a small town. As he made his way to the boys' dormitory to unpack, he felt a soft touch on his shoulder. Turning around, he was met with the radiant smile of Amina, a girl with deep brown eyes and intricately braided hair adorned with golden beads. She was from one of the most influential families in the country. Amina had always been admired for her beauty and elegance, yet she remained kind and approachable. The school bell had rung minutes ago, signaling the end of the school day. Kofi, eager to make new friends, had already heard whispers about the hidden secrets of Royal Gold Academy, the secret tunnels beneath the school, the forbidden romances, and the unspoken rules that divided the wealthy students from those on scholarships. Amina's sudden interest in Kofi took him by surprise. Despite their different social backgrounds, their conversation flowed effortlessly. They discovered a mutual love for books, music, and adventure. Hours passed without them realizing, and as the sun began to set, Amina promised to meet him again soon. Kofi was both shocked and excited. Never in his life had he imagined forming such a close bond with someone like Amina. Their friendship blossomed quickly. They would sneak away to the school's hidden gardens, sharing dreams and secrets. Their growing bond, however, did not go unnoticed. The school administration and Amina's parents began to worry. They believed friendships between students of different classes were dangerous and could lead to unnecessary distractions. As time passed, their connection deepened. Late at night, they would meet under the ancient baobab tree, a place whispered to be where past lovers in the school had secretly met for generations. Their stolen moments were filled with whispered promises, warm laughter, and the thrill of the forbidden. But not everyone was happy about their closeness. Nadia, a fellow student who secretly had feelings for Kofi, grew envious. She decided to expose them, reporting their late-night meetings to the school principal. The principal, a strict and authoritative man, at first dismissed it as a rumor. But soon he began to notice their long conversations and the way they looked at each other. One fateful evening, as Kofi and Amina sat under the baobab tree, the principal appeared from the shadows. His voice was stern and unforgiving. "This must stop immediately," he declared. He warned Kofi that his scholarship could be revoked if he continued associating with Amina. Amina's parents were informed and they were furious. They threatened to send her abroad to separate them. Heartbroken but aware of the consequences, Kofi and Amina decided to remain distant. They spoke only when necessary, treating each other like ordinary classmates. It was painful, but they had no choice. Nadia, thinking she had finally won, tried to get closer to Kofi, but he showed no interest in her. This frustrated her, but she consoled herself with the fact that at least Amina and Kofi were no longer together. Even though they pretended to be distant, Kofi and Amina secretly wrote letters to each other. They cherished the little moments they could steal, knowing their love was being tested. On graduation day, they stood side by side watching their classmates celebrate. Though surrounded by joy, their hearts were heavy. As they left the school gates for the last time, they exchanged one last hug, a silent promise that their love would endure. Months passed. Kofi continued his studies at a local university, while Amina was sent abroad to study in the UK. But despite the distance, their love only grew stronger. They wrote letters every week, pouring their hearts onto paper. One summer, Amina invited Kofi to visit her in London. At first, he hesitated, fearing the cost and her family's reaction. But his longing for her overpowered his fears. He saved up, bought a ticket, and flew to London, keeping his arrival a surprise. When he called Amina from the airport, her voice trembled with excitement. She rushed to meet him, and as soon as she saw him, she threw her arms around him. They spent the entire summer exploring the city, reliving old memories and creating new ones. Their love deepened, but they knew they still had obstacles to overcome. When Kofi returned to Ghana, he was determined to succeed. He studied relentlessly, knowing that he had to prove himself to Amina's parents. He worked hard, built connections, and graduated with honors in engineering. Meanwhile, Amina excelled in her studies and returned home after graduation. Kofi couldn't attend her graduation because of his final exams, but they reunited afterward. Amina wanted him to formally meet her parents, but he chose to wait until he had secured a stable career. Their love remained strong, but they had to be careful. Years passed, and Kofi became a well-respected engineer. With a stable income and a solid reputation, he finally felt ready to meet Amina's parents. The moment he had feared for years had arrived. Standing before the grand doors of Amina's family home, he hesitated. What if they rejected him? What if they still saw him as the poor scholarship boy unworthy of their daughter? Summoning his courage, he knocked. To their surprise, Amina's parents welcomed Kofi warmly. They had seen how determined he was, how he had built himself up through hard work. They realized that their daughter's happiness mattered more than social class. A few months later, Royal Gold Academy invited its alumni for a grand reunion. During the event, Kofi saw Amina laughing with old friends. As she turned back towards him, she froze. Kofi was kneeling before her, holding a ring. The crowd erupted in excitement. Amina's eyes filled with tears as Kofi spoke. Amina, this school gave us memories, both good and bad, but the best thing it gave me was you. Will you marry me? With tears of joy, Amina shouted, Yes, yes, Kofi, I will marry you. Cheers and applause filled the air. Months later, they had a beautiful wedding defying all odds. They settled in a peaceful home by the coast, surrounded by love, laughter, and their children. Their story became a testament to true love, the kind that endures challenges and conquers all barriers. Like and subscribe for more inspiring African love stories. Thank you.